Happy Saturday. It is your girl, B Jules, aka Brandy, for Words That Speak podcast. This is episode 10. I cannot believe it. And this is our last day in November. Like, that's it, y'all. So we've got, 4 weeks left until 2025 is upon us. And I hope that you find that this year you have had more things to be thankful for than what you will regret. So today's episode is a little bit different, y'all. Obviously, I'm not starting at 9 a.m., which I'm going to go into why. There's no makeup on, no eye stuff or lipstick. This is the real deal. Wake up in the morning. I woke up like this. But I do got my tea. And this one is a peach flavor. So it's Celestial's peach. And let me tell you, it smells like peach. And it tastes like a peach tea. It's just crazy. And especially for the weather we got outside. I'm thankful for the weather, but it's a little chilly, So today I want to dive into the topic of thankfulness. Thanksgiving just passed, and while it was a special time, I also experienced something unexpected. Y'all got a sty in my eye, an inner sty. Not fun at all, but it made me realize how much I have to be thankful for eyesight, man. Sometimes life throws us little or big challenges, and it can be easy to focus on what's going wrong. But today, I want to encourage you to shift your perspective and focus on what you do have and not on what you don't. So let me share a little bit about what happened. Last week, I woke up and my eye felt sore. I didn't go to bed sore, but I woke up sore. So I thought maybe my youngest son, because he slept with me in the bed that night, maybe elbowed me. So throughout the day, it was just, sore. That went on for 3 days. So I work in medical. So I asked one of the providers, do you see anything? Because I started thinking, is this a sty? I haven't had one of those since I was a little girl. He couldn't see anything. There was no head. There was no bump. But my eye was getting more going from sore to now painful. But I couldn't see anything. The way it felt wasn't the way it looked. So by the time the weekend came, Saturday, I had a Friendsgiving to go to, and my eye was feeling way better. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe it was just really sore. Maybe what I first thought was right. So I ended up putting, some mascara. I don't do a lot of makeup, but I do like to do eye. So I did some mascara, eyeliner, went to Friendsgiving, had a great time. When I woke up Sunday, my eye was hurting. And then, but it still wasn't showing anything, visible. So then work comes, right? Monday and Tuesday. The pain, y'all, I had was excruciating. And it's not even I could leave work and go home and I'm gonna feel better. No, there was nothing I could do. And I wasn't trying to waste my sick time, So I'm I know I'm not feeling well, but I've got to push through this. So I pushed through Monday and Tuesday at work. Tuesday was one of the worst days. I felt like I had glass in my eye, and I still see no bump. I still see no head. Any sty I've ever had in my past, something shows. And so I'm asking my coworker, yo, do you see something in my eye? Because I cannot see anything. And so when I lifted it up in this corner right in here, there it was. So I was okay, I'm going to have to go to the doctor because I'm doing warm compresses. I'm doing everything, but I'm going to miss work because of this. I'm most likely going to miss Thanksgiving. And I was not cooking this year. I was going to my family's house. So either I was going to family's house or I wasn't having Thanksgiving. It was all or nothing. But I got an appointment. I got into the eye doctor on Wednesday. I had to take off work. She prescribed me some ointment. So as you can see, my eye is like glossy around here. So it's like putting Vaseline in your eye. So like, though the ointment is a healing medicine, it is so uncomfortable. So this morning, I do it early in the morning so that throughout the day I'm not feeling bad. So that's another reason why I didn't jump on the podcast so quickly. But she gave me this ointment. It cost me this thing cost me almost $100, like $65 for the visit. I had bought sty medicine prior. That was like $16. And then the ointment was about $10. So that's a point to be thankful for. Though I did not want to spend that money on my eye, I'm thankful that I had the money to spend it on my eye, okay? And so with the ointment, Wednesday I could not drive. My eye was completely shut. And she told me it was an inner sty. It's inside of your eyelid. I'm like, okay. So I'm usually the 1%, the one person that's outside of the box that things happen to. Here's one of them. So she gives me this ointment and she tells me you have to use it for 7 days, twice a day. If it doesn't help, you're going to have to go to your primary and get prescribed antibiotics. So that Wednesday, that was excruciating. I get the ointment. I end up texting my family because we were supposed to go out Wednesday night. Like, hey, I don't think I'm going to go. Like, I may see y'all in the morning, but I'm in a lot of pain. I came home, rested. I'm telling you, this is azithromycin. First time I've ever had to use it. Worked wonders. Within like 2 hours, I could feel like the pain subsiding. So I was thankful. I was thankful that I could still see. I was thankful that I could still work. And I knew my limit. Like, I know Monday and Tuesday, it sounds like, well, why didn't you just stay home? But it's like, I knew my limit. I wasn't going to push myself beyond my limit. So Wednesday I took off. So I was thankful I had sick time. I was thankful I had the funds to cover it. Though I wanted to spend those funds on something else, I had the means to do so. I am thankful that there is medicine, you know, that there was a healing, that there was something more than just a warm compress. I'm thankful that my mom was able to make me a warm compress, you know, with rice and ball it up in like a little sock. So it was like, I was thankful for that. I was thankful that she was able to drive me Wednesday to the doctor's appointment, you know. So I was thankful that the prescription was covered by my insurance, that I had insurance, that I could pick it up, and it was only like $10. And I was thankful that within a few hours, I was able to open my eye. Like, I went from being like this to like that. Like, I was able to open it. And I was able to drive to my family's house Wednesday night and have Thanksgiving. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't what I planned Thanksgiving to be about, but it reminded me about how important it is to see the blessings even in the inconvenience. Because it's so easy to get caught up in what we want, right? You know, I wanted my eye to just never even have a sty. I wanted that money. I wanted me to not have to miss work. Or it could be totally different than my circumstance. You could be wanting more money, more opportunities, or a better situation. But true gratitude is about appreciating what you have right here, right now. So it brings me to a verse. Philippians 4:11-12. Paul says, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. That is powerful, super powerful. Contentment doesn't come from having everything we want. It comes from trusting that God provides everything we need. I had to take a sip on that one. So, I want to give some tips before I get off because like I said, I'm still in my healing process, so I don't want to take a lot of time, especially with this light in my eyes. So here are my tips. Start a gratitude journal. I've already been through three or four in the last couple of years. I even got my little man a gratitude journal for his birthday. Excuse me. And I've been trying to get him into that. And y'all, it really does change your heart, because I can wake up sometimes and get in my prayer closet and just be in tears. And the next thing I know, it's like, when I get to my gratitude part, man, it just helps. And it has 3 lines. Like this journal I have, it asks, it says like, what am I thankful for? And it has like 3. But I've had other ones that are just like lines, and I've just written. And this 3-line one, sometimes I have more than 3, but at least start with like 3. I say that's a good number to start with. And like, you just take a moment to reflect on what is going right. So it's, from like, for me, it was like the eye ointment, to be able to see, to wake up, to have insurance. Like, all this was unexpected and painful, but there was so many moments that God was there with me, providing for me. And so you could still see the goodness in the suffering. Pause and reflect. When things feel overwhelming, take a moment to list what's going right. So it's kind of like giving gratitude. But when you're feeling overwhelmed, if you just like pause for that moment, pause and just be like, okay, what's going right in this moment? Where am I going? Where am I headed? What are my distractions? What's causing me to feel like this? Where is it coming from? Even taking a moment just to breathe, just can do so much for you. Count to 10, just go outside if, you have that opportunity, take some time alone in your shower, like wherever you're at, where you're feeling overwhelmed. It could be at work, like shut your door, go to the bathroom, say that, hey, I need to take a break real quick, step outside, walk to your car, like just pause and reflect and just understand, like, okay, what do I have control of? What I don't? What is going right? 3, pray with thankfulness. In your prayers, thank God for what he's already done before asking for anything else. That's a good one. When I wake up in the morning, I'm already telling God, thank you for the breath that is within my body. Thank you for the renewal of my mind, the cleansing of my heart, the steadfast spirit within me, and the garden you have placed within me, which is my heart. Thank you that this is a day I haven't seen before. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my finances. Thank you for my children. Thank you for family. Thank you for community. Thank you for purpose. Thank you for identity. Thank you for dying for my sins. Thank you for restoring, for healing, for protecting, for being my rock, my strength. I mean, you are Jehovah Jireh. Like, you are my provider, being my warrior, going before me, being behind me, on the side of me, within me, like all around me. Like, boy, thank him before you ask for anything else. And I honestly have tried to not be like the woe is me anymore. Like, why, God, why is it happening? It's more like, okay, God, this is what's happening. This is my understanding of it. Help me to lean towards you, because my mindset is based on flesh, corrupt, and it can end up making me doubtful, fearful, worrisome, and you tell me not to be that way. So I do ask him for things. I do present things to him, but I mostly write those down sometimes, or maybe I'm just silent and I just let the Holy Spirit speak for me. There's tears sometimes. So, excuse me, asking God for me has changed in its form of how I present it. It's not just like, hey, God, I need $100 today. Hey, God, I need you to do this. Hey, God, I need you to check this person. Like, it's not a demand. It's more of this is what's going on. Can you reveal to me? Can you help me to understand this better? Like, God, what are you doing here? Like, what do I need to do? you know. So it all comes with different ways. But before you do any of that, thank him. Y'all, thank him. Thank him. Because there's a lot of people that didn't get a Thanksgiving, who don't even have family, the holidays are a sad time. There are people that aren't here today, that didn't wake up or didn't wake up a long time ago. They've been passed away for years, you know. And so there are people that don't even know what day it is today. Their mind is that gone. They don't even know their name. They don't even know where they're at. You know, there are people that are homeless. I mean, there is just so much of a list of things that you can thank God for that will help you to know his character more than just asking for something. Because just like if you're a parent, if you have kids, you know how annoying it can be when your kid is constantly asking you for something, but is never thanking you for what you've done. So think about it. God has feelings too, and we are his children. And so you don't want to do that the way you don't like it done to you, right? And then my last one, give thanks out loud. Share your gratitude with others. Tell someone you appreciate them, or share your blessings with friends and family. Y'all, it's good to tell people. Like right now, I'm letting you know how thankful I am, though it didn't go as planned, you know. It was still everything I needed it to be. And so that's my gratitude. And today, like, my eye is so much better. It's still healing, but it's so much better, and I can see. So thankful for sight, you know. But it can be even somebody simple, like friends or family, just sending a text message or just calling and just checking in on someone, or just telling them, you know what, even if they haven't done anything recently, just them being in your life, them trusting you, them talking to you, them, you know, whatever you guys have, like just letting them know, like, I'm thankful for you, sis. I'm thankful for you, brother. Like, I'm thankful, you know. And that could really brighten someone's day, that they feel like they've done a difference in your life. You know, sometimes we forget that we just think people know because we have a relationship with them. Like, yeah, I care for you. I love you. That's why you here, ain't it? But it's so good to hear those words from the ones you love, you know. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I want to leave you with this thought. Gratitude is a choice. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, our hearts open to peace, joy, and contentment that only God can provide. So thanks for tuning in to Words That Speak. If this episode encouraged you, one heart, one mind, one body, one soul, please share, please comment, and like the video. This will be reposted for anyone who didn't catch the live. Let's keep spreading thankfulness. And it's almost Christmas, so I'm excited to see y'all. Hopefully I will have it better. And this episode really did help you with my vulnerability and what's really going on. So until next time, remember, speak words of life and let gratitude fill your heart. Toodles. Hi, good morning. Happy Saturday. It is your girl, B Jules,